Greetings.
I'm Cairon. Just... What kind...
There are all... And of course the guard won't be...
So I'm supposed to beat up the brothel zone?
You...
And what... The rendezvous...
But sometimes...
And...
His name...
You said the...
Ali... We can't... We have to be... And the...
Could...
I mean...
Oh, I have...
Many... Different...
Tell me... And what...
Then... So that...
Thank you.
Go.
City. Freed of hope, maybe.
Yesterday, the cartel went out on another foray. When I saw my neighbour again later, he had this deep cut in his neck. He wasn't breathing.
Back there in the alley, that shadow. There, in the window. And there. Back there in the alley, that shadow. There, in the window. And there, in the bushes. Huh? Keep your eyes open. Back there in the alley, that shadow. And there, in the window. And there, in the bushes. Huh? Keep your eyes open.
Don't be like that. I still need at least 2 more customers today. A trip to paradise, just 10 kreutzes. Don't be like that. I still need at least 2 more customers today. Oh, there's sweetie.
Here, you can have a knife across your throat. Thanks, so.
A trip to paradise, just 10 kreutzes. Now, if it isn't the strapping lad from the refugee camp. Come on, you get me and my sister together. She's already cold, though. Come on, you get me and my sister together. She's already cold, though. Oh, there's
business is going well, my friend.
Now, if it isn't the strapping...
Forgive me, darling, but the brothel is closed today.
Closed.
The girls have their day off today.
I have a message for Tiakranor.
A message? Kind of message?
I can only explain it to him personally. Where is he?
I don't know. You should go now. Please be so kind as to leave the brothel.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to leave until I've spoken to Tiakranor.
Who sent you? Was it Falk?
Falk of Aravor? He was here? What was he doing exactly?
Well, what people do here, sir. He is a close confidant of Mr. Tiakranor's.
That just made Tiakranor my enemy.
Then you must help me. I beg you. I beg you. Tiakranor's gone mad. He wants to send all the girls to the Dark Mother.
He wants to kill them? Why?
He wants to turn them into the undead. He says it will be cheaper and better for business.
Well, that really does sound insane.
It's because of the plague and contagion and some special requests. Please, please hurry.
You mentioned the Dark Mother. What exactly did you mean?
You don't know the Dark Mother, sir. She is the mother of the family beyond. Her husband is the fiery father. And then there's the seeing son and the deep daughter too, but we have to keep that quiet, right? Tiakranor says, thanks to the Dark Mother, death is no longer a limit but only a threshold, and many new challenges await those who died in the afterlife.
You think the Archdemon Thugunitoth is the Dark Mother, and the other family members are also archdemons. Agrimoth, the Destroyer of the Elements, Blackaraz, Master of Revenge and Hatred, and Charipteroth, the Relentless Drowner.
Ha! Archdemons here, archdemons there. Those are the new gods. The old gods didn't look after us either. At least you can see what the new ones are doing.
Then there are others who consider the Dark Mother to be the reincarnation of Marda, the goddess of magic, and her son Borbarad, the ruler of the forbidden knowledge.
Excuse me, but that really is heresy, you know.
What was Falk of Aravor doing in the brothel?
He and Tiakranor seem to get along well. They're sort of friends.
Then Aravor supports Tiakranor's intention to turn all the girls into undead?
I don't know, but the other day, a girl who talked a little too much died. Falk doesn't want his name mentioned. Yes, the Lord of Aravor is simply a little more modest than other Rondrians. They never come here otherwise.
Why haven't you told anyone? Half Warunk would give anything for this brothel.
To whom? The Kreutz Cartel is still only interested in profit. Tiakranor's new business idea would suit them just fine. The Guard isn't represented strongly enough in Kreutz Alley, and they demand proof before they do anything. And if the Rondrians find out, they'll hang us all.
I thought heretics were burnt, not hung.
It used to be that way. Nowadays the firewood is used for construction.
Explain to me again why Tiakranor wants to turn the girls into undead.
It was the plague. Before the Exodus, many of the men who came to us were already ill. They wanted to enjoy their last days. But that also infected many of the girls. Tiakranor eventually started resurrecting the dead girls in order to protect the living.
And you? You were probably happy to help whenever customers wanted to have special wishes fulfilled.
No, it wasn't like that. These people always just came to look. Tiakranor told me that he only resurrects the girls as a reminder of life under the necromancers.
And you believed every word, of course.
What could I do? I was afraid.
Enough. Where's Tiakranor?
Use the door. Hurry, please.
Ah, Cairon, welcome. I was told that you were coming.
Who told you?
Your patron, Falk of Aravor. He said that you're interested in sowing a few wild oats.
Oh, really?
Don't worry. I have a number of the most willing girls for you to choose from.
What has Falk told you of my wishes?
You shall receive whatever you crave. You can have any number of girls if you so desire. You can return them when and in whatever condition you wish, Mr. Cairon.
How generous.
I have always found Falk of Aravor to be generous. A fine man, and the only Rondrian to frequently honor my house. But be so good as to not mention anything about my new business idea to him. I would rather tell him in person.
I heard you have a new business idea.
Well, it's not really a new business idea. When the necromancers ruled here, there were brothels like mine everywhere. If you will, I'm just reviving an old tradition. And as you see, I do pretty well.
You certainly do. But what about your girls?
The girls are grateful to my people and me for helping them cross over to the Dark Mother. They have nothing but benefits from it. You look at these beautiful creatures, my masterpieces, tireless, invulnerable, and immune to all disease. Do you find the girls delightful too?
No, not really. The Exodus seems to have been good for your business.
Actually, I had nothing to do with it. It just so happened that Gammat was encouraged to lead the sick forth at a certain point. Falk said it would be better for both me and my business if the patients were not infecting my girls anymore. That was very considerate, but no longer really necessary. My people had already enabled the first to cross over to the Dark Mother.
Falk ordered Gammat to lead the exodus of the sick out of the refugee camp.
You would have to ask His Grace of Aravor himself, for he knows Gammat far better than I.
Enough. I'm not here for sex.
You're not? But I was told you were coming.
I don't give a damn what Falk of Erebor told you.
Who the Nameless sent you here?
I am here on behalf of Perel Notgelf. Either you give the Kreutz Cartel what's theirs, or you can get yourself a new face.
You can't touch me. I'm under Falk of Erevor's protection.
I will go when I'm done, and your people are not going to harm these girls.
You cannot stop me, Cairon. First, the girls will go to the Dark Mother, and then so will you. Men, let the transition begin. Ah, Cairon.
Who took? Oh. What is...
You...
I heard...
If
you...
The... You... Do...
The...
Falk... You... You...
I don't...
Who...
I...
Men, let the transition begin.
I had to take drastic measures.
Maybe Chakranor will like it with the Dark Mother. In any case, thanks for the help. Please check up on my girls. Maybe you can even save some of them from crossing over. I cannot thank you enough.
Yes, sure.
Oh, well, there's a bit of work needs doing now. Someone will have to run the Thorned Rose.
I guess you have the most experience at doing so.
You will know that both the City Guard and the Kreutz Cartel have an eye on this house.
You'll have to choose one side or the other.
Yes, that would probably be best. It would be good if we were protected and wouldn't have to take too much of your time.
So, who do you choose?
Ugh, decisions. I'm terrible at making decisions. I want you to decide for me. Here, take the deed. Give it to our new protectors.
What would happen if I were to choose the Kreutz Cartel?
Perel would gain more power in Warunk and would do good business with us. The girls could decide for themselves whether they want to work alongside the undead, but I can also imagine that the cartel wouldn't be too gentle with them.
What do you mean?
I know their kind. They would beat the girls just to demonstrate their strength. If they were out of the way, though, we could do what we want. In the end, it would certainly be good for business. And with the cartel controlling the smuggling, we would finally be able to eat properly again.
What if the City Guard were to protect you and gain more power in Kreutz Alley?
Well, prostitution isn't forbidden in Warunk. We could just keep the business going. We used to often have problems with people stiffing their bills and we never had anyone we could complain to about it. That would change. Maybe we could even start a guild at some point. On the other hand, Fergalosh is extremely fervent. Many customers would go elsewhere for their enjoyment and we would have to go hungry sometimes.
Why is that?
When you get to know a man, you have to find out what he is used to. With the guard watching us, we couldn't offer our customers everything they're accustomed to.
You can't seriously want to serve those habits again.
They're just little things, my friend, with underwear, without, things like that, guaranteed. But our neighbours won't be happy to see the guard coming and going all the time. Kreutz Alley is still cartel territory.
I think I'm going to report Falk's contact with Chakranor to his superiors.
Are you a Warunkian citizen, then?
Not yet.
Then no one will believe you. And the Rondrian Metropolitan Yarkon isn't in the city right now. That means you would have to turn Falk in to himself. That might be a bit difficult, don't you think?
I think I know who I'll give the deed to.
Well, if that isn't timing, we have visitors.
Perel Notgelf, as if called.
I thought I'd drop by. Is there something new to report?
The rumors were true. Chakranor was having the girls killed and then raising them again as undead.
Hard to believe such audacity, to want to smuggle such a huge profit past the cartel. I hope the fella is now out of the way.
Chakranor is dead, and Dolorosa will now take over as manager of the Thorned Rose.
Before anything happens here, Perel, hold your evil tongue. I hear there have been deaths here. That makes this a matter for the city guard.
Fergalosh, old friend, the matter is already settled. As the whorehouse's new owner, I must unfortunately ask the city guards to leave my property.
Carbuscan Draxon! We have a truce, and as to whether or not you really are the new pimp in this hole, well, that's still to be decided.
Maybe the gentleman would like to allow my guest to get a word in. That will certainly help to clear matters up.
It's true. One of you will be taking the brothel under his protection in the future.
You don't really believe that the Kreutz Cartel will give a single foot of ground in this matter?
I hope you've thought it through carefully, lad. If you choose wrong, there will be war.
I want Fergalosh and the men of the city guard to protect the brothel. They will ensure law and order.
That was the right decision, lad. You're a decent man.
The city guard is supposed to take care of a whorehouse? That is so ridiculous it makes you want to cry. But the cartel has understood. We'll meet again, gentlemen, and may the new gods then have mercy on you.
Dolorosa was satisfied. Thanks to the city guard, the Thorned Rose and its inhabitants were spared any further attacks by the underworld. Necromantic machinations were now a thing of the past, and no one cheated on their bill anymore. The establishment of a whore's guild was finally within reach. The price of this security was that now many customers stayed away, for they messed. The excesses common under Tiakranor's rule. Calandra's groom was never seen there again. Most denounced the rumors of Falk's inclinations as offensive and implausible. At least they did whenever strangers were listening. Last but not least, Fergalosh's truce with the Kreutz Cartel was broken. The guard began to prepare themselves for a major confrontation, another opportunity for Cairon to make a name for himself in Warunk.
Now, if it isn't the strapping lad from the refugee camp, I want to show you your mighty sword.
You should put your money pouch in your shirt. No need to make it easy for the cartel. What you want? I run a clean business, but please, don't say anything to the guard about it. Better to keep your head down. Here, you can have a knife across your throat faster than you can say flex tape.
Now, if it isn't the strapping lad from the refugee camp, wanna show you a trip to paradise. Come on, you get me?
put your money pouch in your shirt. No need to make it easy for the cartel.
What do you want? Get out of here before I have you skinned.
I was right to give the brothel to the guard. The whores need the law on their side.
Then get out and watch your back from now on.
Do you even know which end of a sword to hold?
Yesterday, the cartel went out on another foray. When I saw my neighbour again later, he had this deep cut in his neck.
What do you want? Get out of...
Praise the divine lioness! Another blow has been struck against the darkness, even for the fallen women. Yea,
I'm glad to be in here. I hear people in the West Town are rotting alive.
My daughter's up about skin and bone.
Yesterday, the cartel went out on another foray. When I saw my neighbour again later, he had this deep cut in his neck.
City. Freedom out, maybe.
Good to see you, lad. Thanks again for the thorned rose. By Mother Parain, you made the right decision. I've another assignment for you. Are you interested?
Then tell me about this assignment.
It's about a man named Fyodor Brigante, a mage who settled down here. He's under house arrest, heresy. He's to be transferred to the guard's headquarters now, with an escort.
Why do you want to move the heretic? Does this have anything to do with Perel's declaration of war?
Right. Fyodor is no longer safe at home. The Kreutz Cartel could strike at any moment. We have to be prepared.
Why would the cartel be interested in a heretical mage?
Fyodor has a vast knowledge of witchcraft, demons, constellations, disease. He's an expert in these things and talks about them constantly. In the hands of the cartel, his knowledge could be quite dangerous. That's why we need to get him to safety. And, of course, it pays well.
Falk of Arivor appears to be involved in Tiakranor's machinations. Do you have any idea what's behind it?
Can you prove it, lad? You can get yourself into a mess of trouble if not.
It's the truth. Tiakranor himself even confirmed it.
I believe you can, but I'm probably the only one. No Rondrian would ever get involved with a necromancer. That'd be treason. And even if you do have evidence, you'll need power and a good reputation in the city. Otherwise, you'll never get the chance to submit it to the Metropolitan.
I don't even have citizenship. So my sister is sold off to the most powerful man in town, who betrays his own order, and I can't even prove it.
A marriage without love. That's bad. Someone has to do something.
What do you mean?
The folk of Arivor may be calling the shots for the Rondrians at the moment, but Sumadan of Bregelsam is still the Margrave of Warrock. If I were to put in a good word for you, your family could get their citizenship this way too.
You'd do that for me, Sergeant?
Why not? If you don't disappoint me, well, lad, then you can count on me.
Tell me about the heretic.
He climbed up on a barrel in the market and started talking rather incoherently about the gods. Free thinking. You can be hanged for that. My lads were fast enough and got to him before the Rondrians. All he got from me was 3 weeks of house arrest.
Then you didn't consider the heresy all that bad?
You know, lad, people talk a lot of nonsense, but they never admit it. Oh, no. I prefer it when someone opens their mouth and gets themselves caught. Fyodor didn't preach demon worship or anything of the like, and if I can annoy the Rondrians, I'm twice as happy to save his life. I also have a feeling that his knowledge could soon be very useful. but maybe I'm wrong there.
Aren't the Rondrians responsible for dealing with heresy?
They are. They believe that free thought is a major cause of people pacting with demons. That's why they're really cracking down at the moment. I don't tend to see it so strictly myself, but if someone disturbs the public peace, the guard has to step in. That's still better than having people accuse their neighbours of heresy just because they can't stand one another. Because that's what the Rondrians' crackdown will lead to, even if that isn't their goal.
Then tell me about this assignment.
It's about a man named Fyodor Brigante, a mage. He's to be...
Why do you...
Right.
Why?
Fyodor... In...
Thank you for your offer, Sergeant. Maybe later.
What's up, lad?
All right, I'll escort the heretic.
Very good. Then go to Kreutz Alley. There you'll find Fyodor. Bring him safely through Kreutz Alley. My people will be waiting at the other end. Once Fyodor is safe here with me, I'll get you your citizenship. See, I don't like it when my people have to beg the Rondrians for passes.
Yes, Sergeant.
One more thing, lad. You seem familiar somehow. Have we ever met before?
Not that I know.
Strange. Very strange.
I wouldn't wander around here like that if I were you, but...
Don't be like that. I still need at least 2 more customers today. Looking for a little fun.
Now
Fyodor?
that the guard is here,
The proper
sometimes
salutation
things
is
seem to
learned
pull the
scholar
apples
Mr.
out of the
Brigante, or at least Lord Magus. Who are you anyway?
The house arrest is over. For safety's sake, I'm to bring your skull to City Guard headquarters. Learned scholar, Mr. Magus.
An escort? It seems to me that this is more of an arbitrary intrusion of state authority upon my privacy. I protest. I do not need a murderer to escort me. You will have to bring me to Sergeant Fergalosh the same way I entered house arrest, voluntarily.
I am here to protect you, Magus. Things in Kreutz Alley will soon be much rougher than they are now. The truce between the Guard and Cartel has been broken.
Sergeant Fergalosh is a bully, and you are the personification of roughness. Being a prisoner of the Cartel would be an equivalent state.
Is that what you want, then?
Well,
In truth, I'm still undecided, as it were.
Might I learn a little more about you, Magus?
Magus probatus sum. I am Fyodor Brigante, Adeptus Major member of the Great Grey Guild of the Spirit, a graduate of the School of Spiritual Travel in Belhanka.
So only a heretic, and not a necromancer.
Are you trying to insult me? There are significant differences between an educated grey mage and a simple necromancer. Necromancers! Better yet, those who pact with demons. People like that just toss their souls into the same cesspit that is home to the demonic TGT. My soul belongs to me alone and nobody else. And if there were more public education, more people would come to this simple conclusion. By the way, if you were better educated, you would never have asked this question in the first place, my good man.
I have a question about a magical phenomenon. Maybe you could help me.
Of course. Nandus is with the Inquisitive.
I've never had a hint of magic in me all my life, and now suddenly something has awakened within me.
Intuitive, elemental, or demonic? I mean, maybe you're possessed.
It had something to do with the mixing of blood. It feels like I were using other people's life force to do magic.
Borberadian? And you claim you knew nothing about it? Don't act like a fool, man.
I'm not a Borberadian. I never learned to use blood to do magic. It just happened.
Look, this is completely implausible. Borberadian magic requires years of practice and a sound education. This gift can't have just come to you out of the blue. It could have come from the Nether Hells, but that would have required truly potent demonic activity.
It wasn't like that. I never sold my soul.
Very reasonable.
Can't you help me at all?
You seem to have a very powerful patron who is not too particular in his morality. He will likely know more. Or the outbreak of the gift was an accident. Then you just have to live with that power and hope that you die before anyone can claim your soul in return.
What do you think about the Kreutz Cartel's goals?
Well, one cannot really call them goals. The Kreutz Cartel is a loose alliance of cutthroats and chicken thieves. Basically, the cartel is nothing more than an ordinary neighborhood. Well, ordinary for a city where for decades one could not be certain as to whether the ruler had again sent a bad dream or his own brother-in-law really turned to dust at the touch of sunlight. Without the urbane Mr. Parel Notgelf, these people would be a godsend for any kind of soul catchers, demon worshippers, priests, and gods know what else. Even if Parel wears the mantle of the free spirit like a feathered headdress, his aspirations are purely material. Basically, the cartel is not a good environment for a reputable scientist. On the other hand, it is sometimes quite useful to know the smugglers.
What do you think of Fergalosh and his people?
Fergalosh believes he represents law and order here. He competes with the Rondrians, which is logical considering the fact that he is paid by the Margrave. He considers me a troublemaker, and therefore wants me behind bars. It took a lot of convincing to barter him down to a house arrest. You said the truce is broken? Then it is logical that Fergalosh wants to have me brought in. He is afraid of my potential. But a free spirit cannot be constrained by any walls. You can be certain of that. Oh, for a free spirit, there are no walls at all. Ergo, to me, it does not matter one whit whether I'm at home or in the guard's headquarters.
Do you know the Rondrian Falk of Aravor? Can you tell me anything about him?
Falk of Aravor? That's right, one of the Rondrians. I'd completely forgotten him. He is also far too worldly, far too libertarian.
You think he is a libertarian?
Infinitely libertarian. Infinitely. Unbelievable. He who knows no boundaries would simply burst. That alone makes him dangerous. And someone like that is the Metropolitan's deputy, while serious scientists are called heretics.
What heresies has he spread?
We once had a philosophical dispute. That in itself is remarkable for a Rondrian. What really frightened me was his detailed knowledge of blood magic and demonology. I would have expected a Borberadian to possess that knowledge, but not a priest of the goddess of war. Do not misunderstand me. Borberad was a demigod, and many of his teachings breathed the spirit of freedom. But ultimately, his arrogance brought him and his disciples to fall. Interesting. The hubris dialogue is a transcendental problem, the dilemma of master and servant potentiated within arcane karmic interdependency. Conclusion, the man is suspicious. Do you have other questions?
I have a question about a magic...
Of course.
I've never had a hint of... Can't you... Just come with me, Magus.
I do that which my will commands.
Don't be like that. I still need at least 2 more customers today. Don't get me and my sister together. Don't be like that. I still need at least 2 more customers today.
I wouldn't wander around here like that if I were you, but you're right.
Come on, you get me and my sister together. She's already cold, though. Hi there, sweetie.
Back there in the alley, that shadow. And
There you are.
in the
Excellent.
window.
It was far
And
too
there,
easy.
in the bushes.
Yes,
Eh?
well, lovely.
Keep your
Come,
eyes
Lord
open.
Magus. We'll soon have you safe.
Safe. Security and law and order. I like this naive little sergeant.
Well then, lead me away.
Young man, I'll see you soon. Maybe I'll even drop by for a visit.
Yes. Take care, Magus.
And give Fergalosh my regards when you collect your reward.
You're back, you rat. Are you tired of living or just stupid?
Calm down, Perel. I want to talk to you.
Theodore was important to the cartel. You should never have delivered him to Fergalosh. And I haven't forgotten that business about the Thorned Rose yet either. I should have you sent to the Nether Hells here and now.
As if loyalty meant a damn thing to you, Perel. I've had enough of these insults.
I've got something against traitors, and I've got something against those who kill my people. By the fiery father, how can you ever make up for that?
Give me the most dangerous assignment that you have, Perel. I'll prove to you that you need me.
You really do seem to be serious, Cairon. Very well, you get one last chance. Damn, who do you remind me of? That makes me sentimental.
This is an important decision.
You don't have much time. Speak to me once you've decided. I'll wait here.
Kangrusha, good job, lads. My thanks. I do not want to promise too much, but the next assignment could be pretty profitable, and it concerns the whole city.
I'm listening.
The Kreutz Cartel is planning a revolt. They want to storm the armory.
Storm the arsenal? Why?
They want to eat up all the provisions, steal building material, and weapons. Even if they are poor bastards, I cannot let that happen. We need every man to defend the arsenal.
Is the armory really that badly fortified?
Unfortunately, yes. It's just a simple, half-timbered house in the east town, hard to defend. I recommended using the old Rondra temple for an armory from the beginning, but Falk of Arivor prevented it. Hard as granite, the rotter. So, lad, here's your chance to prove yourself. Will you fight for law and order, or not?
Why don't you give the hungry enough to eat?
And give in to the Kreutzer Cartel's intrigues? Never. We can't condone anyone breaking the law. If the starving mob storms the armory today, they'll be standing in front of the Prince's palace tomorrow. I won't allow Warrank to sink into chaos just because a couple of hungry people can't wait for their rations. We would like to distribute even more food. The Rondrians would too. But the refugees from the surrounding areas are literally eating the beards off our faces. Cursed soil produces little wheat. All the food must be brought from the coast, and we can't keep distributing it fast enough. Oh, if Fargosh were but here, he could help us.
Who's Fargosh?
Fargosh was my brother. I lost him. Let's talk about something else.
What about the Rondrians? Will they be involved in the fight?
No, I'm not letting any twisted lion worshipper stick his nose into my business. This is a matter for the Guard. To be precise, a matter for the Guard and the Kreutzer Cartel. If they want to challenge us, good. We can determine the balance of power once and for all at the arsenal.
In the end, the Rondrians will find out anyway. Wouldn't it make more sense to work with them?
This is going to be a dirty fight. They'll be happy they can stay out of it. In addition, it's bad enough that the Rondrians control the west and upper city. The east city must remain Guard territory. And even if they are insulted, I'm sure the prisoners know something about the sword the Rondrians lost.
You want to take prisoners, Sergeant?
We're certainly not going to kill half the city. After all, I wouldn't want to be inhuman. You ken my drift.
Why did Falk of Arivor prevent the old Rondra temple from being used as an armory?
I don't exactly ken. Guess he's just greedy and wants the Church of Rondra to have two temples. The new one in the upper town and the old one down here. As I said, the old Rondra temple would at any rate have been more spacious and would have been much better suited than the arsenal. Now that I think about it, Falk bears a certain responsibility for the rebellion.
That's strange. Why does he want to keep a temple that used to be a brothel called Rondra's Tits? especially when a new one is being built in the upper city.
No one can be certain that the temple was really desecrated. Many Warunkians would be pleased if the Rondrians were to reopen it. I mean, yes, many are of the opinion that the whole occupation thing should finally be put to rest. No wonder, seeing as how they all used to fix their scales anyways.
Well, that would fit everything I know about him so far. He doesn't really take the honor part too seriously.
Trax Ragdoshel is dividing the Rondrians. That means even more trouble. Hopefully, Metropolitan Yakon will return soon.
Just to make certain, what exactly is the assignment?
You help us to defend the arsenal against the rebels. In return, I'll admit you to the guards. That's your shot at citizenship in Warunk.
I don't need any more information, Sergeant.
Oh, one more thing, lad. If you help us, you'll become a member of the guard. You don't have to wear a uniform or aught, but after that, you're one of us.
You're going to not only make me a citizen, but a guard as well? Then the Kreutz Cartel will do anything they can to harm me.
Law and order. That's Warunk in a nutshell. Anyone who doesn't like it doesn't belong here.
I'll do it. I want to belong to the guard.
Excellent. Then we'll meet at the armory in the East City.
Here they come! To arms!
Hold the line at all costs.
Well fought, Cairon. You came at the right time.
That was probably just an advance party.
Yeah, you're right. But we can't get the damn gate closed.
What's wrong with it? Don't tell me the lever for the portcullis is broke.
No, it's stuck. The gear's broken.
Where can I find a new one?
Down the street there's an outpost, but it's probably already overrun. The bandits came from that direction. I can't leave my position.
I can deal with it. Hang on until I get back.
Well, hurry. The storm may break at any time. What are you waiting for? Down that road.
We can't hold the gate any longer. Pull back.
Cairon, we won! Welcome to the City Guard, my friend. Welcome to the ranks of Warrank's citizens.
Thanks, Sergeant.
Damn, that was a good fight. And we even caught the ringleaders.
Ringleaders? You mean you've caught Perel?
Ha! He won't get his hands dirty, but his henchmen will do us fine. They've already talked. Once they're hanging from the walls, no one will dare attack the guards again.
You want to hang them?
They knew what to expect. Anyone who kills my men will pay for it.
How did you manage to convince the Margrave to award me citizenship so quickly?
He knows he can count on me. If I trust a man, so does he. Citizenship applies to you and your entire clan.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. I'm happy to do what I can for my people. Oh, by the way, give your father my greetings. I think I know now why you seem so familiar to me.
If you execute the prisoners, the Kreutz Cartel won't make peace for a long time.
It won't anyway. Too much blood has been shed. But the cartel has been weakened. They won't be causing trouble again soon. People can once again sleep in peace. And the honest traders in Warrank now have less competition from the smugglers. That's good for their prices.
Did the prisoners say anything about Falk?
No, for once he had naught to do with it. But I think your information is sufficient to make Metropolitan Yakon at least suspicious.
Could you arrange for a meeting with Yakon when he returns?
I think so. Dinna fash yourself.
Has the ringleader's testimony brought anything?
They knew nothing about the executioner's swords stolen from the Rondrians, and nothing about the missing amber either. But no matter. They told me a lot about Perel.
Are you sure you want to execute these people? They have families.
That's the law. Criminals are to be executed. We can't allow some few to steal supplies belonging to everybody. And didn't tell me that we would be besmirching our victory, or that the poor would thank us. What is important is that decent people can live in safety.
Sergeant, you already have a guilty conscience, and you haven't even decided yet.
Not true. I don't care about their families. They must be punished.
Sergeant, you are lying to yourself.
Well, lad, if you're such an expert, then you're to decide whether we should execute them.
Let them live. There's really been enough bloodshed.
For all I care, let them live, but they must be punished. Every one of them loses his right hand. We'll meet again at the headquarters. There's something to celebrate. Your admittance to the City Guard of Warrank.
The ringleaders' lives were spared, and the city of Warrank sentenced each of them to 12 moons' hard labor on the construction sites. The poor remained hungry, but there was no more doubt about the fair and just distribution of supplies. The law was enforced, yet humanely. The weakening of the Kreutz Cartel meant fewer goods now arrived in the slums. The Rondrians and prosperous Warunkins complained that the problem had not been fully rooted out. Margrave, however, praised Cairon's mercy and displayed his own goodwill.
Lad, today you've shown that you stand for law and order. You've also figured out which end of your sword to hold on to. I want you to be one of us. One of the guards.
As long as I don't have to wear fruit on my chest, I'm in.
It was done. His actions at the armory had secured Cairon and his family a place within the protection of Warrank's walls. Falk of Arivor would have to find another bride. Yet Cairon had no time to rejoice, for panic suddenly erupted in the streets of Warrank. In the western city, hordes of undead rose to attack the refugees. Cairon lost no time, for his family was in danger. He hurried to the refugee camp.
Undead and demonic magic. Hang on, Calandra.
Get me! I'll get you!
Calandra, father, are you all right?
We're doing fine, Cairon.
This hut won't take this for long. With you here, we can try and break out.
What the hell's happened?
The attack came suddenly. We were lucky that we rescued the others.
Lucky is an understatement. Right now, they're shredding everything alive out there. The undead are coming from all directions.
Then there must be several sources, summoning circles, necromancers' work.
We need to head for the Prios Temple. It's easiest to defend.
Consecrated ground. If we're lucky, the Sun God's blessing will stop the undead. Let's go.
Alone? And what about the people here? They're refugees too, just like us.
If those summoning circles really are the source of the undead, that would definitely be an advantage for us.
It would mean that the undead aren't just appearing on their own, but that someone's calling them. You can't summon undead, demons, or even elementals without summoning circles.
Let us hope that the necromancers didn't forget their protective circles. Otherwise, where's the challenge?
Quit showing off, as if protective circles would affect you. It's not like you're from the Netherhells, Cairon.
Maybe not. But maybe these necromancers can tell. Seems the Rondrians weren't all that thorough when they liberated Wurrunk.
That's not getting us any further here, Cairon.
I heard from the refugees they saw a number of summoning circles on the way here.
Then there are probably several necromancers.
Those summoning circles must be destroyed, otherwise the attacks will continue.
They'll have enough reinforcements with the amount of dead lying here. We no longer belong to these people.
What do you mean?
We have our citizenship. We can enter the city.
I don't have to marry him?
This is not the time. Let's go.
And just where exactly is Falk? Aren't Daeons supposed to deal with the undead?
Stop it, Cairon. We don't know where they're fighting the undead here in the camp.
Right, we don't know. All we know is that I didn't see a single Rondrian on the way here. Not one.
Right. We don't even know if the Prior's Temple is even still consecrated.
Stop it, both of you! At least the temple is easy to defend.
Let's just go. The undead could attack at any moment. We have to go.
I will not leave these people here. I don't want the blood of any more innocents on my hands. And not on your hands either, Cairon.
Cairon, go ahead. You hack your way through the worst of it, and we'll follow with the refugees.
From one summoning circle to the next. If I catch a necromancer, I destroy his circle, and you follow. It's the tougher path, but there's less danger if we meet them head-on than in having them follow us.
Let's go. What have you found?
A severed hand. Leftovers from the storming of the armory.
Severed body parts as a sacrifice for the invocation of a demon.
The only one who really comes into question is Thalgunitoth, archdemon of the undead.
The Dark Mother.
Stop it, both of you. Anyone naming names is playing with their soul.
As if that ever stopped you, Father.
This is something else, Calandra. You don't understand.
Don't think for a minute that you can keep fobbing me off with that old line.
All right, let's keep moving. We still haven't caught all the necromancers.
Get away from my daughter, you monster!
You found something?
A piece of amber. A sacred stone of the sun god Prios. One exactly like the one that was stolen recently. No charges were ever laid because the victim was afraid.
You've really been having a good look around, Warwick, haven't you?
Black Araz. Definitely the Lord of Vengeance. He's the only one anyone would offer up a piece of amber to in order to facilitate the invocation.
You mean the sun god, Prius' nemesis? What would he have to do with summoning undead?
Maybe that explains why they were able to attack during the day without turning to dust.
The light-shunning rabble.
Don't be silly. This just doesn't fit. We'll need to find the mastermind if we want to know more. If Black Araz is involved, someone is out for revenge. But when he starts summoning undead at the same time, he's out to divert attention from something else. Something bigger.
Oh, then it has to be a Borberadian, Father. With them, nothing is ever the way it seems.
Find that funny, do you? You find that funny, you silly fool?
Come, Father, calm down. We need to get going. Now, if we find him and he really is a Borberadian, you can have the finishing blow.
You are fools, children. Happy fools.
Another barricade. At least one summoner must still be alive.
What the hell's happened here?
One less necromancer. One more demonic sacrifice. An executioner's sword with a lioness coat of arms on it.
A Rondrian weapon as an offering in an undead summoning? That's strange. The war goddess's demonic opponents have nothing to do with revenants.
Right. That summoning must have been directed at some other demon than the archdemon Thargunitoth. The undead have been called independently of this summoning. Besides Rondra's nemesis Belhalha, I'd say Blackaraz, the Lord of Vengeance, would probably be a good guess. Executioner swords are often sacrificed to him.
How come you know so much about demons?
You picked these things up over the years. Cairon, weren't you in a hurry? There's still a good way to the Prior's temple.
Falk. Who would ever thought to see you here?
Sharp-tongued as ever. At least there's one way to distinguish you from the undead.
Falk, are you here to help?
The zombies didn't rise up on their own. Someone called them. We followed that man here. The leader of the necromancers has fled to the Prior's temple. He is trapped.
The house of the sun god has been desecrated.
The god of princes will not protect the lowliest. At least we know that now.
And we know where his soul will go when we're finished with it.
Protect the refugees. I'm going in.
You were very brave. In Rondra's name, I'll let you go first.
Suddenly worried about getting your fingers dirty?
No, dear Cairon. For once in your life, you too should have the chance to prove your worth. Maybe some rich citizen's daughter will hear of your courage. A cleverly arranged marriage with a little tart like that, and you could gain citizenship.
You!
Cairon! Please.
I'm going in.
Cairon, I have been expecting you.
How do you know my name?
You won't need a name where you're going. Get ready to face the Dark Mother. Car. You get.
The villain's escape left many questions unanswered. Who summoned them? What did he want to achieve? Why did Falk, a senior Rondrian, allow Cairon to face the summoner? Instead of replying, Falk ordered the Rondrians to seal off the refugee camp and comb it in search of the summoner there, using whatever means necessary. He quartered his bride Calandra and her family in the Old Pillory, the best guest house on the square. At least now, with the approaching wedding, his thoughts seemed to focus on Calandra's welfare. At least, that was the impression he gave. Stop eavesdropping, Cairon. What is said in the next room is none of your business.
Falk is talking to his mother, probably planning his next crime, the bastard.
Enough! We all realize that you can't stand them.
Not even you like those two, Father. We could see the way you stared at Falk's mother.
You had better get used to them.
I'm not going to do it, Father. We have citizenship. We no longer need them.
You will marry Falk, and you will move with him when his church transfers him.
I go where I want, and I'll marry the man I love.
Bite your tongue, Calandra. You don't even know what you're saying.
Never, ever talk to us like that again. Otherwise you will find yourself sitting there all alone in the morning with your damn citizenship.
You're a stubborn, rebellious idiot, Cairon. Stop inciting your sister like that.
Father, I love Cairon.
You don't know what you're saying.
That's none of your business. You can't forbid us anything.
Children, you're running to your doom.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything. I thought that maybe little Calandra would give me some advice on how we can make the wedding particularly tasteful. The old Rondra temple is such an austere, dreary building, and it would be a shame if our tastes were all too different.
Certainly. She will come with you.
Father.
My dear Cairon, it is really touching to see how much you worry about your little sister. But I think she should decide for herself, don't you, Bianca?
I will come.
Excellent, excellent. We will host a celebration such as Warwick has never seen. Come along. And it goes without saying that the anxious brother can join us later at the temple. Fare you well, gentlemen.
Calandra didn't go with Falk's mother voluntarily. She's been controlled.
That was a Be My Friend spell. A harmless elven spell. Probably Falk's mother tried to diffuse the situation.
And it's Be My Friend's very harmlessness that makes it so suspicious. She must have a very, very good knowledge of that spell to calm down someone as angry as Calandra. Did you notice her pointed ears? If she is an elf, how can she be Falk's mother? He's no half-elf.
Maybe she's only his foster mother. That happens more often than you'd think.
You just don't want to understand. The old Rondra temple is a strange choice for Calandra's wedding. The Warunkians say the place was a necromancer whorehouse.
Falk wants to use the gesture. Today's good defeats yesterday's evil. The Warunkians will love him for it. Metropolitan Yarkon won't appreciate that. It undermines his authority. But he's not in Warunk. That way, Falk can demand obedience from all of the Rondrians, even the ones who are less forgiving.
While Falk prepares for his wedding, the Rondrians are combing the refugee camp.
They're looking for the necromancer. If he has teleported himself away, he could be anywhere.
That was a transversalis spell. Unusual for a necromancer. You were right. Those undead really were just summoned as a distraction from something bigger. From whatever the invocation of Blackaraz was supposed to do.
But what could be bigger than hordes of undead assaulting the West Town?
At any rate, it's passing strange that Falk is concentrating all of the Rondrian forces on the refugee camp, almost as if he wanted to keep them away from somewhere else.
Despite everything, Falk is a Rondrian. What would he have to do with the Archdemon of Revenge?
I don't know, but it's strange that the necromancer knew my name. Falk is a pimp, a traitor, and probably worse. I got us our citizenship. Why this insistence on the wedding?
Your siblings, Cairon.
But why Falk, of all people?
I won't tell you. I wish you could simply trust me.
I'm going to the Rondra temple. I'm not leaving Calandra alone with that woman. At least one of us has to stand by her.
ever after the divine lioness, in her infinite mercy, had seen fit to make them collapse under the
Angros, smile on you, lad. I was looking for you.
Periku.
Did something happen?
Remember,
Cartel
Warunkia,
broke into our headquarters.
this sacrifice
Kidnapped Fyodor.
served to protect your
Kicked a
freedom
right
from
large
evil
rock rolling.
necromancers
No,
and
I'm going
sinister
around warning my people.
vampires.
It's quite possible that
Now
you're
that we
next
are
on Perel's
protected
wee
from
list.
harm from
We've given the
outside,
cartel enough
let
cause
us
for
work
revenge.
together to eliminate the last eyesore from the upper town, where remnants of the
Why is the
unholy
cartel willing to
pyramid
take such a
are
risk for
still
that
to be
mage?
found.
Perel just couldn't
Volunteers
admit that the guards had the
report
better
to the
cards.
east gate at
Better
the 6th
cards?
hour.
You just locked Fyodor up without using his knowledge.
But we could have, the way Perel can now. Sure, I didn't treat Fyodor like a guest, but he is a heretic when all's said and done. People cannot just do and say what they want. Everyone is responsible for their own actions.
Really?
By Angros's beard, aye, that's the way of it.
Have you heard about the desecration of the Prior's temple?
Yes, and I heard that you done well, lad. Too bad the Rondrians have taken over the case.
It was very strange. There were signs pointing to the Lord of Vengeance everywhere. Maybe this whole attack was just a diversion.
Sounds like the cartel. They're capable of anything.
Why would the cartel willfully desecrate a temple?
Whoever catches the villain, well, the Warunkians will celebrate him or her. And that could be useful to Perel when the balance of power shifts again.
You mean when officers are rewarded again?
Pretty smart, old Perel. Forges himself a dragon, sinks it in Batangor, and then he goes off to Xorlosh as the great dragon slayer.
What?
I mean that Perel wants to swindle his way to fame, that's all, lad.
Why is the cartel willing to take such a risk for that mage?
Perel just couldn't admit that the guards had the better cards.
Better cards? You just locked...
But we could...
And what if it's not Perel who's behind the necromancer, but Falk of Aravor?
Well, if he manages to capture the necromancer, the Warunkians will celebrate him as a hero.
And he's probably got an eye on Yarkon's position as head of the Rondrians.
Slow down, lad. Metropolitans aren't made overnight. You'll have to kill Yakon in a duel for that. And he'd be needing a real good reason for a duel like that, lad. Otherwise, he'd have half the Church of Rondra stomping through his tunnel come morning. Outside his door, I mean. With swords, you know, lad?
But many Warunkians would take his side. He could command the Rondrians here, and the city walls would protect him.
At the moment, they're combing the western city. Maybe they'll even find him. And if not, we'll find him. We can do what we want now that the Rondrians are gone.
I'm gonna head over to the old Rondra temple. I want to pick up my sister there.
Fine, lad. Take care of yourself.
Freed city. Freed of hope, maybe.